The Philippine Women's Open as a learning ground for Filipina tennis players. Manila. When the Philippine Women's Open concluded on January 31st, 2026, it did not yield a breakthrough finish for most of the local entrants. What it provided instead was a clearer measure of what professional tennis demands at the WTA 125 level. Held at the Rizal Memorial Tennis Center from January 26th to 31st, the tournament marked the Philippines' first staging of a WTA 125 event under the Women's Tennis Association calendar. With an international field and full main draw, the competition placed Filipina players in direct contact with tour-level pace, physicality, and tactical discipline, conditions rarely replicated in domestic or regional play. More than the results, the event functioned as a diagnostic, clarifying a gap between local competition and the standards required for sustained international competitiveness, experience over outcomes. For Alex Ila, the country's top-ranked women's player, the significance of the tournament extended beyond her own campaign, which ended in the quarterfinals on January 30th. She said the event's greatest value lay in what younger Filipina players gained by competing alongside international opponents. "I'm super proud. The fact that we're in the draw, they showed up, they gave their best," Ila said during the tournament. She noted that first exposure to this level of competition is rarely comfortable, but emphasized that facing WTA-caliber opponents provides lessons that cannot be replicated in training or lower-tier events. First encounters with tour-level pace. Among those gaining that exposure was Teniel Maitis, who made her WTA main draw debut against Thailand's Maninkaya Sawanki. Maitis stayed competitive in the opening set before bowing out, 4-6, 0-6. "It's a lot of learnings, and I need to improve a lot," Maitis said after the match, framing the loss as part of a professional process. A native of Mlang, Cotabato, she also spoke of the impact of playing on center court before a largely Filipino crowd, describing the experience as affirming. What WTA 125 competition tests? Across the draw, the Philippine Women's Open illustrated what WTA 125 competition consistently tests. At this level, match pace and shot tolerance are immediate differentiators, with opponents generating depth and weight that leave little margin for error. Movement and recovery speed become decisive in extended rallies, while serve and return discipline separates competitive games from one-sided sets. Over multiple days, physical endurance and recovery are tested through back-to-back matches. Equally important is mental resilience, the ability to reset after momentum shifts and remain composed under pressure, measuring speed and consistency. Another Filipina entrant, Elizabeth Abarque, exited after a straight sets loss to Japan's Mihan Tama. While acknowledging the result, Abarque focused on the technical lessons drawn from the match, particularly the demands of faster court movement and recovery. Former UAAP Most Valuable Player Kay Anemona also exited the tournament after a loss, saying she approached the match with a focus on execution rather than outcome. "Whether you win or lose, there's always something to learn," Emina said, a clearer measure of the professional standard. For the country's emerging women's tennis players, the tournament became a learning ground, revealing the physical demands, tactical discipline, and mental resilience required at the professional level. As the first WTA 125 event held in the Philippines, it offered both exposure and a clearer measure of what international tennis requires.